Hey everyone, today I'm going to go over pie charts, bar charts, and line charts in Canvas apps. So what I'm going to do right now is if I go to, I've created an app already, and I also have a data source called product revenue and transactions. Both are in Dataverse. I'll quickly show you that data in Excel. I'm going to quickly open these two Excel sheets. So basically the data for line chart is just some dates in March 2026, first, second, third, like that. And we have an amount. This could be like a transaction or something like that. And we have some revenue for different types of products by year 2012, 2013, 2014. So what I've done is I have created a Dataverse table. We go to Power Apps again. So the way you would do it is you can click Add Data. So you can click Add Data here and create new tables. And you can go to Import an Excel file or CSV. And I can click Select from Device. I have it open in this folder, so I'm copying this directory, pasting this folder. And if I just select this data and I click Open, file is in use, so I have to close these Excel files for it to be able to upload. I'm quickly closing this Excel file. I'm just going to load this. I click open, it's loading this data. And it's saying which sheet you're going to import the data from. And this is the Excel file. And I click import. It's going to look something like this. And I can click view data. And I'm just able to view the data. And you can set the type. You can do things, a lot of things. I don't want to get too much into Dataverse tables at the moment. But if you click save and exit, you would have a Dataverse table called product revenue that would be created. I don't want to do it again. And it's essentially the same steps to import the other one, some data like whatever we had here. This is the revenue data, and we have some date and amount data. You can do the same thing for that. If I'm not going to save it because I already have it. I'm going to leave and discard the table. So if you want to create a chart, all you have to do is you go to Insert and you go to Charts. You have column charts. Like when you just drag and drop, you would have a default chart that gets created, and you can create a pie chart. You have to select the parent of that because it's like one over the other. Each chart interface has like the chart part, the heading part, and the legend part. You can move each of them individually. And I'm just going to click, I'm going to create a line chart in a different page because it's not really appropriate to have a line chart for something like revenue by region and things like that. Line chart by best practices should only be used for continuous data like amount in one day and then amount the next day, or x in the time in the x-axis and or date in the x-axis or something like that. But when you do categorical data, we should be using pie charts or column charts. Pie chart is usually used to denote percentages as a whole. Like for example, here Cairo is the biggest slice of the pie, you can say. So pie chart should be used when you want to show the data as a percentage of a whole. Without further ado, I don't want to get too much into uh, statistics or data management, but when you select the chart, you select if I go to the tree view, this is actually a group, and inside this group you can select individual component like the chart itself. Only when you select the chart you would be able to select the data. If I go to display, and you can go to items, and items I'm going to select product revenue, and over here you have like each of the regions. You can say Europa, Castidiana. Like these are fictitious regions, and we have um, amounts on each of them. And if I go to advanced, uh, where's that? So here you can select which series you want. You can have multiple series, but the value I'm interested in is revenue. I'm going to select 2012 revenue, and I'm going to select 2013 revenue, and I'm going to select 2014 revenue. So what this is doing, it's like summing all the 3 years value together. I don't want that. I want it to show different values like 2013, 2014, and sorry, 2012, 2013, and 2014 in different legend. Like this legend will denote 1 year. This so to do that, you have to select the number of series. At the moment, it is just one. If I just change it to three, it's able to show the revenue by 2013, 2014, and I think I just put the wrong series there. So I go to display and I go to advanced. Uh, so its label should be the product. Now going back to the Excel, what did I have? It should be the product. Product should be what should be the legend, so label, and the third series should be 2014. Sorry, so this should be 2013, and this should be 2012. So you're able to see the amount by 2012, 2013, 2014, and in the label you have the product. So since we have created a chart, we don't want it to be all green. Let's say I want some some year to be green, some year to be red, and some red to be blue. The way you would do it is you have to select the image color set. You can go to this property called image color set. You can edit it in the formula bar. So first one, we want it to be all red. So I put 255 and the rest should be 0, 0. Okay, that's first one is red. Put 0 for red. Green should be 255. And I'm just putting 0 here. Okay, that is green. And next one I want it to be blue. 0, 0, 255. Okay, and this should be blue. So red, green, and blue. And to edit the legend, the series labels like that, I don't really want it to look like that. I want it to show the year. So I can do is I can go to the legends, I go to display, and what I can do is if I select where is that? Yeah, so if I go to items, okay, so there you have to select the legends and you have to select items. And over here we have to create a list. A list is created by opening a square bracket, and we have to put the years. So 2012, 2013, 2014, 2012, 2013, 2014. If I do that, what does it do? It has change the legend. Imagine if I'm just interested in the sales by region for only 1 year, so, and I want to show it as a percentage of a whole. In that case, it's best to show it as a pie chart. So if I select pie chart, I'm going to select pie. And over here, what I'm going to do is in the items property, I'm going to select product revenue. And it's just summing everything, but I'm just only interested in only, like to show you exceeded. I'm interested in only 2012. Okay? And I'm going to change the chart title, pie chart, and I'm just going to move it. Oh, what's going on? I select pie chart. Yeah, so I'm able to move it. Legend, I'm just going to center it. Able to select the pie. Yeah, so I'm able to move that. I'm going to make it smaller. I'm going to make the chart also smaller. Yeah, so I'm able to move it around. So I'm trying to get that here is I have a pie chart. I'm going to change the title. Display chart title is 2012 sales by region. And if I want, I could change the colors as well. I have to select the chart, pie chart. I want to select pie chart, and I have to go to where is the image item color set. First one I want it to be I'm just going to put 255 here, and yeah, so we have some different colors for different regions. That's how you would make a pie chart. I'm just going to quickly create another screen. Uh, New screen, blank, and I'm just going to add a line chart, drag and drop. Okay, just showing some like categorical web values in a line chart. That's not the best thing to do. So what I'm going to do right now is if I go to display and in items, I select transaction. Transaction is our categorical, I mean, continuous value that we have. And I go to advanced and I scroll here in items under transaction. I want the label to be the date. So what was our date called? Created on, and the first value should be amount. So we have the amount in the y-axis and the date in the x-axis. This is the transaction amount. And also we don't need a legend for it because we have only one value. So I'm going to delete the legend. Okay. Now we have a line chart as well, which we can populate for the entire screen. And we can add a title as well. I'm going to quickly select the title. I don't want the title to be too big, and chart title should be uh, by date. Okay, so we have a simple chart title and a line chart. So we have covered uh, pie charts, we have covered line charts, and we have covered um, column charts as well. Hey everyone, I also want to go over how you could attach a Power BI chart to Power Apps. For that, you can go to Power BI tile. So just like how you inserted column, line, and pie chart, you can insert a Power BI tile. And Power BI has so many variety of charts. Like for example, I could go to my workspace and I can go to, so in my workspace, I have a dashboard. In this dashboard, I have three visuals. I don't want to go too much into Power BI because that would be a separate course altogether. But you, just if you don't know what Power BI is, it is a dashboarding tool made by Microsoft and is also part of the Power Platform. It's part of Power Platform, just like how Power BI, Power Automate, and Power BI. It's one of the programs that is part of Power Platform, and you're able to create charts like this, and you can create dashboards, and you can move it around and things like that. But what we are interested is we want. Imagine I want to. I've created a chart, a horizontal bar chart with sales by city, and I just want to insert this to my Power Apps. So I can do is I have inserted the Power BI. I have to select the so I have inserted the Power BI tile, and I can go to my workspace, whichever workspace has my dashboard. I select my workspace. There I have three, but I'm just going to select my workspace, and I have a dashboard called Test DB, and I'm just going to select sum of sales, sum of year, sum of year. So that is, sorry, I want to select just sales. Now I want to select sales. Let's wait for it. Yeah. Wanted to keep in mind, just because you have given access to the Power Apps where the Power BI tile is in, doesn't mean they would be able to see it. The person whom you want the Power BI tile to be able to see, that person should have access to the dashboard as well. Like for example, I have this dashboard here, and the person who should be able to view this tile should have access to this dashboard in Power BI as well. You can go to share and you can enter the name or email address whom you want to share that uh, share this dashboard with, and like only then would they be able to see it. In this video, I'm going to go over modern controls. You can add and configure controls in Canvas app. You can add a variety of UI elements to your Canvas app and configure aspects of their appearance and behavior directly from the toolbar in the Property tab in the Formula bar. These UI control elements are these UI elements are called control, and the aspects that you configure are called properties. I'm just going to show you a quick example right now. I've already gone through buttons before, so I'm just going to show you an example right now. So you can go to either insert or you can go to the plus button here, and you can select drag and drop a button here. So this is a control, and you'll be able to see all the properties of a control by going to the option bar here, or you will also be able to see it in the properties tab here. So either way, you can change the property of the particular control that you're working on. So there is a set of controls called modern controls, which are the latest sets of controls that Microsoft have created for us. To enable those, you have to go to this icon, and then you can go to settings, and you can go to this to updates, and you can search modern. Okay, or even if you don't want to search, you will be able to find it somewhere here. So yeah, you got modern control and themes. You can turn it off or on. So modern controls allows you to have the latest type of a particular feature or newer feature that Microsoft have introduced. So, for example, text box in modern may look something like this. For example, it's a drag and drop combo box. No, sorry, no, that's not a bad. That's not a very good example. If I just click play, it's slightly different to what you might have seen before. But if I turn off modern controls, I'm going to delete all of these. And if I go to settings again, and I go to if I go to turning off modern controls, the combo box will look something a bit different to what you saw just now. It is a bit different to what you had before with modern controls. It might look a bit outdated, might not look like whatever we have in right now. That is why it's called modern. So without further ado, I want to go over some modern controls that needs explanation. Avatar is still in preview, but it basically allows you to show a graphic representation of a user or identity. So if I go back to uh, I'm just going to set it back to modern controls. Modern, but see, it doesn't automatically change. You have to insert the combo box or whatever you're using again to see the latest version. This is the latest version, this is the old version. Okay, and if I go to, I'm looking at avatar, yeah. So it shows you the avatar of the person who's just logged in. The avatar that you see here would be whatever your administrator sets for you. So in Microsoft Entra, they are allowed to set a profile picture for you. That is probably done when you first join your organization. They'll ask you for an image and they will set it for you. That image will be shown here. Now I want to talk about badge. Badge is another control since it can be used to display content in a visually better way. The key property for this control are content shape and appearance. So badge will look something like this. I can drag and drop one, and there is multiple shapes that you can select from. There's circular, there's square. So these are just used to decorate your Canvas application as and when needed. Another one is button. Button we have gone through so many times, but I can just show it to you again. button. So there is two types of button. One is a button that we normally see. There's information button as well. So this usually just used to show information, like if you click on it and if you hover over it, changes color, so people know it's a button. And button, like this button we have seen it multiple times. It can be used to the multiple things. And there is checkbox. Checkbox says select or clear an option to specify true or false. So checkbox, let me, as the name suggests, allows you to check true or false. So if you select this, a particular property can be true or false. So I want to go over combo box right now. Combo box allows you to select, as the name suggests, like combination of objects. Combo box. I'm just going to drag and drop combo box here. I already have a table that I have imported. I called it accounts. I mean, it's already there. It's a built-in set of table called accounts. Data source, I'm going to select accounts. And views, I can select all accounts, or views like already does some filtering for us. I'm not interested in views. I'm just going to select all accounts. Item label, I don't want to yeah, I could just stick with account number for now, because I just wanted to show you what's possible. It's not showing anything. uh, See, the thing is, you have to notice that we can select multiple item, not just a single item. Going back there, and if I put this item dot uh, city, I should be able to select the city of that. No, the city information is not there. I think name should be there. Name dot uh, street or street UPL zip code city name. Yeah, name information should be there. I think name is also not there. Account name, yeah, account name should be there. So if I select ACC1, ACC3, you can select multiple objects like that, and you can do something with it. Uh, there should be a property called on change. On change, yeah, on change. You want to change the output of whatever is selected to um, a global variable. You could just set do this set uh, selected value u as combo box 4, combo box 4 dot, it should be selected. Yeah, could use this property go selected. And you if I just happen to change it, and if I just change it again, I should be able to go to the variables column and see the view record. I had selected two accounts, right? That's why I'm able to see two accounts right here. So you can select so the thing with combo box, you can select only, so you can select multiple, but in a drop box, which is very similar to a combo box, Dropbox allows only single item to be selected. One, two, three, like that. You cannot select multiple. There is no way you can select. That's the difference between combo box and drop down box. Next thing I want to do is Copilot answer. I don't want to go through this right now. I will put it in the back burner. Basically, there is a control that makers can use to add predefined questions that end user can use to get generated answers. I don't want to go over that right now because there's too many setups. There is just date picker. Date picker also is very useful in a lot of cases. Uh, date date picker. Okay. This just allows you to select date. So you can select the year. So if I want to select the year of my birth, I should be able to go up. I was born in 1995. I don't want to reveal my, let's say I'm born on April the 1st, April 1995. I can select April 1st, 1995. Next thing I want to go over is, yeah, I'm going to date picker. Drop down. I'm going to go over drop down as well. I just briefly mentioned it a few seconds ago, but let me drop down. Drop down allows you to select individual objects, and if you want to save it somewhere after you select it, as you show, there is a property called on select. set val1. I'm going to call this selected val1. Uh, the name of our dropdown is dropdown2, dropdown2, dropdown2 dot selected text. Yeah. So if I just select 3 for now and go to variables, so the selected value is 2. Not sure why it's not updating as fast as we are changing. But instead of using global variables, if I put it into a text, then selected val1. I think it's a number right now. We want it to a text. So text, selected val1, and close bracket. Oh, it's a record, I think. That's why I put dot value. Yeah, now that should do it. Whatever I select, that's the value that should be shown here. Yeah. So combo box allows you to select only one item. Combo box allows you to select multiple item, drop down only one item. Next, I want to go over header, the control that creates modern app header. Uh, it's like, I'll just quickly show you header. Yeah. So this is just used to create a heading for your application. So you could put a image and a name for your screen. So you could put test screen. I think there's also image that you can put. Logo is none. You can upload an image or you can put stock image. So this is just used to create a heading for your page. There is info button. So info button, I think it's like if you hover over it, it will provide information. Info button, display information button. So I think I've gone through this already. So if you just click on this, it just shows the information. Link. So this is just used to open hyperlinks. If I just put link, so this will just show you a hyperlink text. You could select the text and you can put a URL. I'm going to go to google.com. So if I click on this link, it will take me to Google. Next tab that I want to go over is number input. Number input is, as the name suggests, you could use it to input numbers. Number input, drag and drop. So it doesn't allow you to put text. Even if I type some text, it doesn't allow you to do that. Only numbers it will allow. Uh, and as usual, you could use the on change property to store it in a global variable or a local variable and do whatever you need to do with it. Progress bar displays the progress and can be configured as determined, showcasing exact progress or intermediate of ongoing process. So if you have a form where you have multiple steps a person needs to go to, you could show that in a progress bar. Let me search for progress bar. So this is like, I think it's done with a percentage. So the value could be if you have, let's say we have a process with 10 step and the user is in the first step. So it could be 1. And like after they have completed that, you could set the local variable to increment to a higher number, like 2, and you can go to the second part like that. In that way, user knows like what is the progress of their form or their application. Next thing I want to go over is radio group, an input control that shows multiple options of which users can select only one at a time. So in a checkbox, there's only one option and it's only just contained in one. But radio groups like shows you multiple checkbox at the same time. This page is getting cluttered. I'm going to insert another page. New screen, blank. Uh, video data source. It's like it's giving you a radio box for every single data source.
So I could manually type a. So I'm just going to leave it as a sample right now, and it allows you to select one or the other. Only one item can be selected. So spinner displays state in motion, for example, loading a page or table. This could be useful when, for example, you have an application that fetches a lot of data, and a user would be more comfortable looking at a spinner than just a blank screen. And once the data arrives, you could like make this spinner disappear, delete it. I'm just going to add the spinner again. It looks something like this, and yeah, you could do something like you could use the visible property to decide if shit should be visible or not. And when your data arrives or that process is done, then this can be made invisible. You use the visible property to make it visible or invisible. Slider, a control which user can specify a value by dragging a handle. If I go to slider, so there is slider here. Let me delete my spinner. Slider allows you to select the min, max, and the value that you want. If I move it around, if I go to if I select the slider, and if I move it around, I'm able to modify the value just by moving, yeah, like here and there. And of course, you could use the on change property for this to store it somewhere, like in a local variable or something. Next thing I want to go over would be is stream. Stream is a bit I can't really show it to you, but if you have a video in your SharePoint folder and you want the user of your application to see that video in SharePoint, you could show it in a stream. Oops, stream. It's in preview, so you could put a URL of your SharePoint folder, and user would be able to see a video here. Still in preview, so I wouldn't use it so much. A table, I've already shown this to you guys multiple times, but it's just used to show you, as the name suggests, a table of values. If I just select any data source, it will create columns and rows from the data source. Yeah, so we have account names and things like that. Tabs or tab list, select a tab to move screens or take action on an apps. So if I go tab list, so it allows you to select item 1, item 2, item 3, and you could make it move to multiple pages. So if I select item 1, I want to be in page 1, and you could use the navigate control or something like that to move between pages. For example, if I go to on select, on change, navigate, target would be where are my pages? Screen 1. So if I select this, it will take me to screen 1. You can do something like that. And yeah, you could do something like where you have multiple instance of this tab, so that like it looks like it is the same on each of the pages, but there's like multiple instance of those. Text, it's just used to display a text. It's nothing fancy. So there's just text. I think I've shown it to you guys multiple times. You could use this to display a number, a boolean, or a text as per your requirement. Next thing I want to go over is text input. It's used to input a text, just like how you input a number. This one is used to input text especially. Going to my second screen, I'm going to delete all of these, and I'm just going to add a text input. Text input. If I press play, I'm able to input a number. And as usual, you could use the on change parameter to store it in a local variable and do whatever you need to do with it. toggle, a control that users can turn on or off by moving the handle. So unlike a checkbox where you have a way to tick something, toggle does something very similar. But instead of a tick, you turn a switch on or off. If I just select toggle, it's like you could turn it on or off, and as usual, you could use the on check on uncheck, pretty much similar to what you have in a checkbox. You could do it with toggle also, depending on your use case. You could use toggle or checkbox as per your requirement. I want to go over camera controls in this application. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete. I'm just going to create camera. The camera you can just search like just like how you would search any other object. Once you do that, you can just drag and drop. So it's going to your browser might ask you for permissions to select the camera. Okay. And if your device, like my laptop, has two cameras, you can also select the camera that you want in the camera property. Right now, the camera property is 0. If I select one, it's going to select the rear camera in my laptop. My laptop has two. Most laptops might just have one. If you're running this application in a mobile phone, obviously a lot of phones have front and rear cameras, so you could use it to use both cameras. The way you would select which camera that you are selecting is you would use this function camera available devices, and you can put it into a drop down. So I'm just going to insert a drop down right now. Draw drop down. Okay, and the data source is going to be camera 5 dot available devices. Okay, and you will be able to see my front camera and rear camera. If I just want to select I want to, whatever camera I select should be the camera that is being selected in this camera. So what we need to do is you have to go to on change, and in on change you want to select drop down one selected dot id to this function. So drop down what's set the camera property to the uh, to drop down dot one dot selected. So what are we going to do is we go to camera, uh, and let's go to display. There's a camera property here, and you could just paste this function. So my drop down's name is modern drop down one. So it's modern drop down dot selected dot id. So if I select front, it's going to select my front camera. If I select rear, it's going to select my rear camera. Okay. Next, what you would have to do is you want to store the images in you just want to display the image directly into the app. So what we are going to do is I'm just going to insert a picture, add a picture. No. So this is add a picture. I just want to select, sorry, it should be image. So I want to add an image here, and the value should be camera 5 camera 5 dot photo. Yeah, right now you won't see anything because a photo isn't taken. All you have to do is click on this image, the first photo will be taken. But what if I want to do something more impressive, like want to store the images in a collection and display those collection in a gallery? So that's what I'm going to do right now. I go to button. I'm going to add this button here, and I'm also going to add a gallery, vertical gallery. Okay, let's ignore the gallery for now. So what we're going to do is I'm going to set this button property such that it's going to collect collection. We want that. I'm just going to name it my pics, my pics, uh, camera 5 dot photo. Okay, that's going to be the name of my photo. And when I click on this button, I'm going to rename it something better. snap photo. So we do this, and let me go to my collection. If I go to my variable and I go to collections, I see that a picture a collection called my pics is created, and I can use this my pics in the gallery. So I'm going to do that right now. So it's just showing some weird thing like some the URL of the image. I'm not really interested. This just automatically uses this item dot value. I'm gonna make this gallery height a bit bigger so the image appears bigger. I'm gonna make this image appear a bit bigger. So I'm just going to add a simple function to delete that image in that particular row. So what I have to do is I'm just going to search trash. I'm just dragging this trash icon inside the first row. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put remove. There's a remove function which deletes an item from a particular collection. Collection name is my pics. This item, this item, and when I click close, and then let me play this application. It just deletes those individual. If I want to do it from a front camera, and I click snap photo, not sure why it's selecting from the rear photo. Let me see what's going on there. So I so what I've done is I've just recreated everything again. So I did the same thing like a drop down, but it's camera 7 instead. Um, so here it just selects whatever camera that we select in the drop down. And we just have an image component which basically shows the photo of this camera. Next thing I want to do is as I did, I just created a button here. And what this button is going to do is it's going to collect uh, my X2 camera 7 dot photo. So what this is going to do, whatever photo that is taken by this camera is going to be stored in this collection. So if I just run it a few times, I'm just going to insert a vertical gallery. I'm just going to remove all the text here, just an image, and for the yeah, so we have, I'm just going to make it a bit bigger as well. So every time I click this button, the same image gets added. That was the problem last time. And if I select the rear camera, it's the same image that is getting added. The problem is when you use a button to snap a photo, it uses this property called camera 7 dot photo, and that property gets updated every time you tap on the camera. So to make sure we are updating the value that is in the camera, there is, just like most other most other objects in power ups, there's a property called on select. So if I go to on select, whatever I have in my button, I'm just going to copy. I'm just going to paste it in this on select. In that way, and let me add the trash icons as well. Trash, and I'll just add another trash here, which removes everything. What this will do is just clear my fix 2. If I click this button, uh, all my the entire gallery is gone. This is the old one. Let me clear everything. But every time I click on the image itself, a new photo gets added. Let me change it to my front camera. I'm just going to add a few pictures of myself. Yeah, let me clear it again. Let me. So yeah, like a new photo gets snapped every time. So that's how you can create a collection of photos, and once you create a collection, you could upload it to a file storage or do whatever business requirement you have. I want to go over add picture. So what you could do is you can go to add picture. So what this allows you to do is upload photos. So when you just click on this and you could select some photo that I have. I'm just going to open this. This is a photo I took a while ago. So it is uploaded in the add picture itself. And if I want to display it somewhere else, see there is this uploaded photo. If I want, I could delete this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to uh, photo, image. Let me delete it and recreate it again. So add picture, and I'm just going to show it in an image as well. Image. So let me just upload a photo, and we want to display that photo in another photo. Go to my tree view. It's uploaded image 5. That is the image component at the back. If I go to loaded image 5 dot image, I should be able to see that photo here. So let me make this a bit bigger. Yeah, this is a photo I took. If I just select something else, let's change the photo here. So you could do something like when somebody uploads a photo here, it uploads it to a shared folder or a blob storage. It's up to you as per your business logic. There are many more controls we have in Power Apps. As I've already gone over forms, there is display and edit forms. There is export, but this is like you would need a higher license for you to be able to export data. Like if you have data stored in a collection, you would be able to export it, but you need like a higher license for it. There's gallery. I've already shown that. HTML text converts HTML tags automatically. So I think this is used to display HTML components in your app itself. We just HTML text. So if you know HTML, you could write something. So I'm just going to put H1 is this is test H1, and I think I'm supposed to put a slash here, and I think you should, if I make it a bit bigger, yeah. So you have a H1 component here. So you if you have a custom HTML text, maybe even an image that you link it to another app. I'm sorry, from another blob storage or something, you would be able to display it here. So we have a HTML component, we have a horizontal. I've already shown horizontal component. Icons is a bit interesting. Like icons can pretty much do whatever a button can do. Like if I just go to add components, and there is display, and we have icons here, and we have multiple icons. And like if you scroll down, you'll be able to see hundreds of icons that you can select from. For example, you could use this to say that this is a download button, and so many things like that. um, there is import, so it's like a opposite of export. You'll be able to import data from another source. uh, let's select one or more items from a list. So this is sort of like a drop down box, I think. Let me just say list. So this is an old control list box is right here. I believe this is sort of like a drop down box, but it is like you are able to select multiple item from a sorry, it's more like a combo box, I think. But instead of clicking and showing the options, the options are always visible. You don't have to click a button. It's sort of like that. What else is there? Map. I think you need a higher license for it, but I think it uses Bing Maps to show locations. Map. I think uh, allows you to show a particular location if you have that location stored in a database somewhere. I don't want to get too much into it, and if your job requires you to show a map variable, you could modify it here. What do we have? What else do we have? Measuring camera. So just like in your phone, you might have a app to measure one distance to another. I think this is also built in. I think it's mostly going to be used for phones. Microphone, you could use it to record a sound and save sound in a data source. PDF viewer, this is experimental. You'll be able to see a PDF inside your app itself. This could be useful for things like if you have a invoice stored as a PDF, you can show it on one side, and like data extractor from the invoice and other that kind of things you can make. Pin input. I think I can show this one because I do have a pen. I have a pen in my laptop. I mean, I have a tablet, so I have a pen here. So if I go to, let me add a new page here. Add blank screen, and I'm just going to put pen, pen input. Uh, so I have a pen, and you can use it to do things like add a signature. You can even select the color and that kind of stuff. And I think if you could put a button, and that would export the value as is. I mean, the image as a JPEG, I believe. So you could use it to do things like making an app where the user can sign a document or something like that, or an agreement. What else do we have? Rating. This could be doing things like if you're getting customer rating, could use that. So let me put rating. Here you're able to select the rating that a person can give. What else do we have? Rich text editor. Rich text editor is like a mini word processor inside your application. And I think the output would be stored as a HTML text, which you can do whatever you need to do with. You can like append it to a data source or something like that. Let me add a new page. Blank. Rich text editor. Yeah, so you could, it's sort of like a mini word processor that you can have. You can like make it bold, and you can change colors as well. Yeah, I don't think color is there, but I think you could change the font and do things like that. I think the output will be stored as a see, as you can see, um, it's a HTML text here, and you can use this HTML to store it in a database or something as per your, I mean, database column or something like that. What else do we have? Shape. Draw arrows and geometric shapes such as triangles. I've never used it, never even come across it, but let's go into it. Let's see what it is. So I think like this just shows, oh, these are like, I think, just some icons that you can add to your app. And like circles, so many shapes are there. You might have a requirement where like a red circle means like something's wrong, and green circle is something good, something maybe some sort of production application. For example, like if your production is going well, you can show it as green, and if your production is doing something wrong, you can make it red, up to your business requirement. What else we have? Stream videos. This is pretty interesting. Play videos and browse to your channel from Microsoft Stream service. Just like how YouTube is there to store videos, Microsoft Stream allows you to store your videos in a SharePoint folder or your Microsoft OneDrive, and it allows you to stream the video just like how you would in a YouTube application, like in a YouTube site. Inside media there is stream, it's still in preview, but I think if you have your URL of your video, and I think even YouTube will work. If I go to YouTube and just put any video, I think YouTube should also work with Microsoft Stream. Just taking some random video
On
on
October
YouTube that
2nd,
is appearing in my feed, nothing in particular. Invalid URL, so it has to be a SharePoint video. I think YouTube doesn't work. Maybe in the future they might add that also. Timer, this is very important. I've built many application where users click on a timer and that starts a timer, and when they click it, timer stops and it gets appended to a database. So timer allows you to do things like, yeah, as its name suggests, it's a timer, and when somebody clicks on the timer again, it do something like it stores the time when the job was completed. I'm going to recreate the timer again. Timer, going to our screen, our timer's name is timer 2. I'm also going to create a, a global variable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the screen and I go to on visible set timer 2 dot underscore start, and I'm going to set the value as false. So when you first look at the screen, like when you go from screen 2 to screen 4, this variable will be false. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the on select parameter instead of a set like a constant value of false. I'm going to set it to the global variable timer to underscore start. What I'm going to do is on select on on select. I'm going to make it, so let me go to the start value should not be false. Start value should be the global variable, and then on select parameter on on select parameter should be the opposite of whatever it is. So I'm going to put not. So whenever I click on this button, it will start the timer. When I click on it again, it will stop the timer. In that way, like, we have a way to time our jobs. And maybe you could have another button, like let's say finish, which is finish, which will upload our time to a database. So this could be used for an application that tracks the jobs that you do for somebody. The next one that I want to go to, video, play a video from a local file, a data source of video. So stream, I think, only works with Microsoft Stream service. Video, I think, works from anywhere. Like if I just copy video, I'm going to go to video. I think these things can play video from anywhere, including YouTube. This advanced, the the URL of the video should be in the media, I think. Like in media, I could just copy a YouTube video. YouTube. I'm just going to look at the first video that I'm getting from YouTube. Just copying that URL and just pasting that here. I have to put a quotations because it's a string. If I click on this, I think I should be
In
able to
Europe,
play it
distance between major capitals can often.
just like if YouTube videos attached to a site. Application. That maybe you could have a tutorial video to your application or a to-do video to how to do video in your application itself. So then instead of people reading a manual to know how your application works, maybe in your first page, you could have an instructional video attached to your uh, site. That could be useful for some people. Vertical container. I think I've gone through containers already. It is like a place where you could have a parent and child component, but I'm just going to go through it again anyway. So if I go to container, so there's horizontal and vertical container. Uh, Basic container will just be a box and where you could have a uh, like child components and all card. And if I look at the tree view, a container has a parent and child hierarchy, and I can just copy and paste so you can have multiple components to your hierarchy. And if you move the container, all the child components also will move together. And I think, no, yeah, it's moving. All the child containers will move in there. I think horizontal container is very similar, but I think they are like locked to your grid. Horizontal container. So if you click, let's say, text, and if I go to objects and I'm just going to duplicate it, I press copy and I'm just going to paste it here. So you see, like I'm not able to move it up and down. It's like stuck to a like the middle of the container. And I think similarly, vertical container is the same thing, but it is top to bottom. And you could click a card. I'm just going to add multiple cards here. Control C, Control V. If I see that it's like two cards stacked on top of each other. There's 3D objects, and I think this requires some CAD files to be added. Mixed reality. I think this is more relevant to like uh, Microsoft HoloLens. I think they have retired it. I'm not sure if they still have this. I don't want to get too much into it, but if your business requirement is related to 3D object and mixed reality, you can look more into it. Barcode scanner, and thing is like if you are doing an application for a POS machine, you should be able to add a barcode scanner to it. Let me add a new screen, barcode reader. So I think this would be able to scan a barcode. I think it has to be attached to your computer, then only it will work. I haven't really seen it working. Next, what I want to go over. Yeah, that's it for today.